Joanne Fletcher, a 75-year-old retired financial advisor, sat in her quiet apartment, a chamomile tea in hand, flipping through photo albums. The images told a story of a devoted mother and her son, Ryan, whom she raised alone after her husband, Mark, died in a car accident when Ryan was 11. Joanne had poured her life into giving Ryan a better future, sacrificing her own needs. But the memory of a house she gifted Ryan and his family, meant to be a symbol of love, now carried the sting of betrayal. This is the story of how that gift became a nightmare and how Joanne found the strength to put herself first. When Mark died, Joanne's world shifted. A widow with a young son and a mortgage, she found purpose in Ryan. She earned a finance degree through night classes while working at First National Bank. Her job wasn't glamorous, but it was stable, and she excelled at building wealth carefully. Ryan, sharp and ambitious, grew up driven but distant. Joanne wondered if her long hours and push for his success, meant to compensate for his father's absence, created that gap. Ryan thrived in high school, earned a business degree, and met Brittany, a polished interior designer with a cold edge. Joanne kept her reservations about Brittany private, not wanting to interfere. When they married, Joanne helped them buy a modest home. Their daughter, Lily, brought joy to Joanne's life. They baked muffins on Sundays and stargazed from Joanne's balcony, forming a quiet bond. At 75, Joanne reviewed her modest portfolio, pension, social security, investments, and a small inheritance. Her needs were simple. Her apartment's furniture held sentimental value. She decided to gift Ryan, Brittany, and Lily a new home in Westfield Heights, a family-friendly neighborhood. She worked with real estate agent Kendra Rhodes, touring homes until finding a colonial-style house on Ashgrove Lane for bedrooms, a sunlit office, and a backyard perfect for Lily. It stretched Joanne's budget, but it felt right. Over lunch, Joanne presented the idea to Ryan. "I want to buy you a house," she said, handing him the brochure. His hesitation gave way to excitement, but Brittany soon pushed for grander options. During a showing in Willowbrook Estates, beyond Joanne's budget, Brittany asked about stocks Joanne had sold, information Joanne never shared with Ryan. Uneasy, Joanne stretched her finances to buy a stunning house on Hawthorne Ridge, 15% over budget. She insisted on full coverage insurance, but Ryan dismissed it as unnecessary. The housewarming party, Brittany's idea, was lavish, caterers, florists, 50 guests. Joanne arrived early, helping with final touches. Lily showed off her new room, where Joanne's telescope gift sat by the window. As the party buzzed, Joanne faded into the background, introduced only as the mom who bought the house. By evening, she overheard Brittany mock her generosity in the kitchen. She nearly cried during the toast, like, "She gave us a kidney." Ryan laughed. "She gave us most of her savings. What else is she going to do with it at her age?" Another guest asked if they worried Joanne would move in. Brittany replied, "Sweet Joanne? No, she's too proud. We made it clear we need our space." Joanne, frozen near the kitchen, confronted them calmly, retrieved her pie dish, and left. The betrayal cut deep. That night, alone, she sat in the dark, questioning if the Ryan she raised, her boy who clung to her after nightmares, was gone. Lily's call the next morning, asking if she was okay, brought tears but also clarity. Joanne began to reclaim her peace, sitting by the duck pond where she met Walter, a kind man who shared her bench and offered simple wisdom. The only direction left is forward. A week later, Ryan called, desperate. The house had structural damage, foundation cracks risking collapse. Without the full coverage insurance Joanne recommended, repairs could cost hundreds of thousands. Ryan pleaded for help, but Joanne, recalling Brittany's cruel words, refused. "I gave you a gift most parents couldn't," she said. "All I got was silence and mockery." Ryan accused her of punishment. She called it a boundary. Brittany visited, offering a half-hearted apology and suggesting Joanne move into their old house to fund repairs. Joanne saw through the manipulation and stood firm. Days later, Ryan called again, quieter. They were moving back to their old house. The new one faced foreclosure. He apologized sincerely, not for gain, but for Lily and himself. "I was raised by someone who gave everything," he said, "and I repaid that with disrespect." They were starting counseling. Joanne felt a spark of hope, but didn't forgive immediately. Summer brought new beginnings. Walter invited Joanne to his nephew's Florida beach house. She accepted, choosing herself for the first time. Lily was thrilled, demanding daily photos. At the train station, Ryan appeared, hesitant but present, wishing her happiness. As the train pulled away, Joanne smiled at Walter, feeling free. She was no longer just a mother or a sacrifice. She was Joanne Fletcher, reclaiming her worth at 75.